Welcome to The Riff. Today on The Riff, Jeremy and Justin sit down and talk about gratitude. I am so thankful they did this episode. Really thankful. My heart is filled with gratitude. You know, I think I'm getting this down, and we just started the episode. We hope today is helpful. Thanks for listening.
Hello, Riff listeners. We are coming to you live from a scorching, sweltering studio.
Listen, if you listen to the Riff, 5 months ago, so however many episodes that is, it's all we talk about is how cold it is.
Yes.
And now, opposite issue.
Yeah. If you like humidity, you like heat, you like rashes, this is the place for you. And not only that, Justin, we just finished a dress rehearsal for this episode, did we not?
We did. We've had some equipment pieces they're pretty toasty, and then noticed it stopped recording. So,
but we didn't notice it until
I'm going to check right now.
Yeah. So as Justin is checking to make sure that we're recording, so we finished one. And
all the producers said we're good to go.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. So what we realized is, this didn't work. We're going to have to re-record. Now, I instantly wanted to just start yelling, but we had just finished recording this episode, which we didn't know was a rehearsal, on gratitude.
Do you think that's a little gift from God on that one? He wanted to test us?
I choose to believe it was. Mm-hmm. Isn't that just like
that is so God.
Sneaky divine God?
So God.
Yep. So here we are. The beauty of it is normally in the Riff, we pride ourselves in no preparation.
This will be the first one. I think this is going to be a horrible episode, honestly.
Because now we're prepped.
Well, now we're prepped, and now we're going to try to live up to something.
Yeah, because it was the best one.
Probably the best episode. It was the best episode. It was the best episode.
It's like playing a pickleball point. And getting done and realizing nobody recorded this and this will not live on YouTube or Instagram Reels. And you're like, the world just missed out.
They're not going to believe me.
We'll try our best to manufacture something here.
We're talking about gratitude.
And what I want to do is I want to talk about this verse in Psalm 103, verse 2. Now, in a recent message, I was sharing in one of the 3 weekend services from Springfield. So I don't know who got it where. I just kind of threw in this verse. Wasn't in the outline, but it come out of a book that I had been reading that week. And so it was on my mind and I brought it up. And it's Psalm 103:2, and it says this: "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all of his benefits." And it's a book called Soul Keeping by John Ortberg. And so for this episode, I want to talk a little bit of something I'm pulling from that book, but talking about the benefits of God, the goodness of God, and it should lead to gratitude. In doing so, we were talking earlier today about something you're doing at home, you and Jamie with the girls, about gratitude, and I thought it was really fun. So share a little bit about what that is.
Okay, we do a thing called Lead with Gratitude.
Okay,
Jamie brought it in, so I'm going to give her the credit because it's pretty cool. But LWGs.
Okay.
There are so many times during the day and night that our kiddos will be in a quarrel, in a fight, a tiff. Is it a tiff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad bicker right there.
Yeah, it's a bad bicker.
Yeah.
And we usually don't hear them say thank you. We usually don't hear them say...
When they're fighting?
Yeah. Would you like to yell first? Yeah. That's never an option. So one of the things that we try to do is we try to regulate the situation with them and try to get them to get in a space to what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
Right? Even in this moment where you're mad, what are you grateful for? And here's the deal. It doesn't necessarily change. Sometimes it does, but it doesn't necessarily change the situation right then. Right? Because usually they're not like, yes, I will calm down and now let's think what we are grateful for. But it's just trying to train their brain. And honestly, the most parenting that we do is more beneficial for us than for them. Because it really is. Like, I think having kiddos, like getting married was a huge step, at least for me it was, of becoming a little bit less selfish. Kids were even a further step. And you realize, oh, yeah, well, they're probably dysregulated because I am. Anyways.
I think kids with dogs would be that third step.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
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 We had a tough go with our dog. But now we're in a really
Sparky?
good season. Yeah, well, Sparks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're in that situation, we really focus on what are you grateful for right now? Just lead with gratitude.
Yeah.
Stop the conversation, lead with gratitude, and you'll probably continue to fight. But one of the cool things we saw just this week, we went on a trip to Dallas, and little Ella was super upset last night, actually, about a ton of stuff. And one of them was about her suitcase, all this kind of stuff. So I sit down with her, and I get with her, and I say, hey, let's just stop for just a moment, breathe. Just breathe with me. Right? Belly breathe. And then what are we grateful for? What are we grateful for? This is a horrible situation. I get it. It wasn't. It's just a stuck zipper.
Ooh.
I know. No, I get. No, and I know
I've
that's
had
huge
that.
for you.
Yeah.
I've seen you 2 or 3 times with your backpack.
Coming out of the bathroom.
And
Yeah, that's the worst, man. The worst. And I got to go up and speak. I get it.
let's just stay in the bathroom till you get it figured out. You don't have to like
retrospect.
Yes.
Next time.
And in that moment, it's not like all of these lights went off for Ella, but later on that night, she was writing down in one of her like little journal things, all the things that she was grateful for the trip, right? So it's sticking in her brain.
That.
It's sticking in her brain. And I think that it's so important for us to do the same thing. So walk through what does that look like? What's the difference between just kind of giving lip service and saying thank you to actually like practicing it?
I will. I want to do that. One side note though, I really like some of these practical tools that Leanne and I didn't have like 100 tools to be a better parent type of book. And so it was, on the job experience for us parenting. I love that. I know Jamie does this as a coach, but the two of you are very intentional parenting. And we had an episode recently on the Riff. If you missed it, it's very valuable. I love anytime you guys talk about parenting. What was the name of that episode or the theme of it?
I think that's episode 99, parenting with community, community, parenting and community.
Something about
Something
parenting.
like that in community.
Anytime you got Jamie and Justin talking about parenting,
And really,
it's a win.
Justin.
Yeah. Jamie helps.
She was awesome. She filled your seat. She was on that microphone. She did say what you said. I'm so sorry. And that's something I didn't ask.
Okay.
And I like literally in this moment right now, I realize what kind of a mistake this was.
No, which is ironic because I am thinking the same thing.
I know. And that's why, no, we'll talk later.
Never
that's
do
fine.
it again.
No,
We don't
okay.
have to.
Yeah, that's
But check that out. Okay, so what's the difference between lip service, thank you, and gratitude?
Yeah.
I think gratitude is deep. Gratitude isn't something you say. It's a perspective that you hold, right? So in the verse, and again, breaking down a little bit of this book, Soul Keeping, is a guy by the name of John Ortberg, and really, he's writing about life lessons learned from one of his mentors. His mentor is Dallas Willard. Now, in spiritual formation circles, he's legendary. Dallas Willard, I think you mentioned in our dress rehearsal.
true.
He's a Missouri boy.
Missouri guy, man.
Yeah.
Southwest
Buffalo, Missouri.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I know.
I haven't been to Buffalo a lot.
Oh, beautiful. Home of the bison.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
That is odd.
Buffalo bison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that where Josh Allen is the quarterback? I didn't know there was. I guess that's why they're a big rival of Kansas City. Because they're so close.
No, I've not been
sense.
up there, but I'm almost positive that's true.
The weather though there looks a lot
So
worse than Kansas
cold.
City. Anyway,
I know. Middle Missouri.
Dallas Willard, legendary spiritual formations writer and professor. And so his pupil, John Ortberg, had learned so much in conversations with him and just been mentored by him. And then when Dallas Willard had passed, a lot of this book, Soul Keeping, is about his interactions with Dallas Willard. Well, in this book, he's talking about Psalm 103:2, forget not the benefits of God, all of God's benefits. And they take the word benefits and they say, okay, our English word that we translate in our Bibles, benefits, comes from a Latin word where bene means good. So basically it's saying there's these good gifts. They're gifts from God. Those are the benefits. And it says we should tell our soul, right, our heart, our passion, our drive, our control board, right? We should tell ourselves, remind ourselves, filter through, God's got good gifts, benefits. And then they take the word benefactor. We say, okay, if there are benefits, who's the benefactor? And benefactor, translated from English from Latin is bene is good. Factor comes from the word factory, is who is the good factory? Who's the one churning out these good gifts? Now on paper, hopefully most of us would say, well, God's the one. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Father above. But like, do you really hold that perspective? Because if we believe that God is the factory where the good gifts come, he distributes them. Every good gift I should be thankful for. If I believe I'm the benefactor, I'm the reason why my kids have a house to sleep in. I'm the reason why we were able to go to dinner tonight. I'm the reason my talent, my ability, my intellect, my paycheck, and when we do that, that leads to entitlement when we put ourselves in the wrong role. We're not the benefactors. We're the beneficiary. The beneficiary is the one who is endowed these good gifts, not because they earned it, because of the favor given towards someone in relationship. So the perspective, the difference between lip service of thank you, I'm thankful, is to remind myself throughout the day, man, God is a good God. His nature is good. He churns out these good things, opportunities, time, relationships, provision. And I'm simply the beneficiary, that whatever I have, whatever I own is really on loan. God is good. And that leads to entitlement, or that leads to gratitude. Entitlement is when I think I'm in charge of the good things. Gratitude is when I realize it's undeserved gift. So, so why do we get off of that and we get distracted? And what are the things that cause us? And we work together, so we have an unfair advantage to see each other in our most carnal state, right? Like, there's probably nobody that has more access to me not living it out sometimes, getting just off my game than you. And what are the things that cause us to do that? Whether we're staying at home with kids, whether we're working a high-paced job, whether we're on vacation still being a grumpalump. What causes that stuff?
I think that there is what I've learned from you and working with you is that yes, you get mad and you get into these situations, but you always have this like ability to
I call them tudes. I
get a tude, man.
Jeremy's in a tude.
You get a tude. Leanne walks in and asks, you in a tude?
Is Jeremy in a tude?
He's in a tude? Yeah. What's his tude number? Well, he's like, he's an 8 today. He's an 8.
That's out of 100.
It's out of 100.
So chill out, people.
But you have this ability to, yes, get upset. You have an ability to let go. You have an ability to really regulate yourself and get to this space, which I have admired for a long time. And I think that it comes down to that idea, you talk about it a lot, of this open hand approach to where, yeah, there's going to be bad things. Yeah, there's going to be good things, right? But neither one of those should really shift our gratitude much, right? Meaning, like, you can't hang on to the bad things, but you also can't hang on to the good things. You just got to realize that it's a gift, that it's all a gift, right? And I think when you get into that space, because same on your side, I'm very reactionary in a lot of things, and I'm also very impatient. And it's not like that's not like a trick, like interview question of like, name your weakness. It's like, I just work too much. Right. I'm just impatient. Get things done. No, it's like, I probably didn't think that through. I just want to get it. And I hope to have that kind of an attitude that you have and that kind of an approach of like, all right, end of the day, like, thank you. Yeah. At the end of the day, thank you. Yeah. So how have you kind of gotten into that space to where, yes, you still feel, you still walk through emotion, but you're able to breathe at the end of the day? One of the things I love about you is, and I know this because Leanne has said it, so it's not just you saying it, but you really can, like on vacations, completely disengage with things and really focus on the family. Yes. And she has said that, so I believe it. So when you say it, I'm like, that's nice. But when she says it, I'm like, all right, I know it's true. I know it's true. I know it's true. So how have you practiced that? How do you do that?
Yeah. Well, I realize whatever we bring to the table is contagious. So, and we can do that with each other. Is if in anybody listening, whoever
anything we bring to the table is contagious is my next tattoo. That's an awesome saying.
That is a good one.
That's a great saying.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, keep going.
It's like a Waffle House slogan. But no matter where your season of life is, whoever you spend the most time with, your attitude's contagious. We can find ourselves, if the odds of one of us not being intentional about this, impacting the other one, very high, right? I would imagine someone can walk into our office at any given time and they can tell in a hurry, are we being intentional or not in this, right? So when you just realize, hey, it's contagious. That what I'm bringing to the table, is this something I want to spread? Is this the energy? Is this the attractional living that I want to spread? Here's something that I do realize, that my impact emotionally and spiritually, with gratitude on those who work closest to me, impacts what their dinner vibe is like that night with their family. And that's a pretty heavy thought. Like for example, your girls, indirectly, their experience at that dinner table tonight might be impacted by how I handle, because I'm changing the temperature. And none of us are victims to the people that we're working here, but we all have an impact. And I want to challenge everyone listening is, do the people who work closest with you, operate closest with you in proximity to you throughout the day? What's your energy like when you're done with them for the day? Have you made it easier for them to have a great evening? Have you made it tougher for them? So I think understanding your impact, it's contagious. 2, also compartmentalizing. For me, I talked about in episode, I think 2 of the Riff, somewhere early on, I talked about 5 things I want for all North Pointers. One of them is this awareness of God's Spirit speaking to me throughout the day. And there's a lot of ways to do that, and we can dive into that in a different episode. But bottom line is, if I say, okay, what is my role today? God, how do I bring the most to it? If I'm on vacation, it's not me trying to micromanage work when I'm not there. If I'm on vacation, it's being present. If I'm working, it's being super present. It's remembering, okay, these are real people with real gifts, with real opportunities. How do I encourage them, right? And so when I'm at my best, I'm thinking through that. But I've also had it modeled. And so let's take a moment and think, like, who's someone that when you think of that person, you're like, man, that person just seems to be generally a grateful person. They bring an energy, a joy, because joy is connected with gratitude. Mm-hmm. That's why joy might not be your personality. Joy can be your discipline when gratitude's intentional. So who's someone in your life, whether it was early on or whatever, you're like, man, that person just represents joy in a lot of areas for me.
Yeah, I think growing up, my mom did a great job of being grateful. I think
I like Kathy.
She's good, man. Yeah. And there were a lot of times where we didn't have a lot because they were going through a ton of stuff they opened businesses. They were very entrepreneurial, which isn't like, hey, let's start a business and become millionaires. That's not how it works. So there was a lot of struggles. And I remember a lot of times not having a lot. And there was still a grateful heart from her and from my dad as well. My grandma was that way. Jamie, my wife, came into my life that way. Like, I've known her since we were dating. She's been that way, right? So that's been a long time. So there have been a lot of people like throughout my life that I've been able to see. I'm like, oh, gratefulness is probably helpful. Because I've also seen it when they're not, right? And it's like, wait, I thought, like, no, you are grateful. There's exactly what you're saying. What you bring to the table is contagious, right? Yeah. So I think just in my mind, those 3, when they're grateful, it's so much fun to watch, right? Yeah. And so great to learn from. What about you?
Well, the first person I think of is a pastor of mine when I was growing up, Daryl Johnson, and he is just a life-giving guy, just joy. And the way he lived his life, he seemed like he was always present. He seemed like he always made living for Jesus very attractive. Matter of fact, he's my tennis coach as well. So I just got to have more access to him during that season of my life. It was a really formative time in my life. I remember even one of the reasons why I went to the university I went to is it was Northwest University. It was a Christian university, a small one in Seattle. But one of the big reasons, I wasn't going there to be a pastor or anything like that. But I went there thinking, he had gone there, and he is just a very great dad, a great pastor, a great human being. you know? I'm more drawn to doing what he did because I would really love to have the kind of impact on other people that he had. And I wasn't even thinking career. I was just thinking missional living. And today he's retired, just retired. I saw him a couple months ago over in Washington. He's just a great life-giving person. And I know now it wasn't always probably because of his paycheck or his work situation or his family situation or his health. There's been times where he's had to struggle with that even. But he's always had this consistent joy and energy that pointed out and up. And so that's why I want to really hit with this idea today that man, gratitude. Gratitude is not a byproduct. Gratitude is a choice. Joy is a byproduct, not only from us, but from those we interact with. And so if you're living and you're in a funk, right? If you feel like, man, you're kind of in the dumps or you just know you're being cranky, is what I want you to really feel like it's on you. You like, no matter what's going on, you have to choose this sense of, I will work from the position and perspective of gratitude. LWG, right? Lead with gratitude. No matter what my lot, no matter what's going on, no matter what my circumstance, what can I control, knowing that I'm going to impact somebody else. So now, okay, it's really hot in our studio today.
It's so hot.
So we're gonna make sure we don't make this the longest episode. We'll go pretty short.
Okay.
I also want to give a homework assignment.
I love homework.
Okay,
I love it.
Here's the homework. I don't know if this one's a good one.
Okay.
But I'm intrigued in it. And this came out of the book Soul Keeping too. And I thought, okay, I think the Riff Raff's a great test audience on this. The challenge is this. Take one day this week. Could be the rest of today. Could be tomorrow. Set your alarm with a little note. And at the beginning of every interaction, enter some negativity, some complaining into it. Just every interaction. Okay. Your kids, your dog, your boss, your neighbor, right? Figure out a way. Some of you are going to have to be creative. Figure out a way to introduce some negativity early in every conversation, right? You don't have to stay there, but every new conversation for that day, have some negativity. So we're going to role play.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So, ready?
Yeah,
ready?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna go first, and then you're gonna say the negative part.
Okay. So no matter how positive you are, I'm going to figure out a way. So here's the homework.
All right, ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, man. I'll tell you what. Barely made it here. I thought I was gonna be late, but I wasn't. So good to see you.
Yeah. No, that's good to see you too. Honestly, I was kind of hoping you'd be, a little later. I was catching up on some phone calls. And you weren't early enough, right, for me to know you were going to be here. So I started doing something.
Yeah, so that's
anyway. So let's.
No, that's cool.
I don't know that I'm really good at this game, but I do feel like I took the energy down.
No, you definitely took it down.
Let's try it.
Let's try it. Okay, good. Okay. All right, ready?
I used to do acting, but it's been a while.
No, you could never. You couldn't even tell. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, man. I'm feeling like this is a new shirt.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Okay.
Is that a polycotton blend?
I don't know what the blend is. All I know is my great uncle passed away this morning, and this is what I got. And it's a little too soon for you to be talking about my shirt. So I appreciate it if you don't.
That one definitely took the energy down.
Did that take the energy down?
Yeah, that one definitely took it down.
Here's the deal. I promise you by the end of today, I'll be really good at this. Okay, so one day, maybe you do this or you don't do this. Because
maybe you're just natural at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next part of it is day 2. This is the important one. Every interaction you have, start with something positive. Bring something positive to the table. Just work it in early. Okay, so we're going to try this. Okay. I'm going to be interacting.
I'm going to bring something positive. Let's go.
Man, Justin, today's your birthday.
Yeah.
And I forgot it and I didn't order anything even though I was on Amazon yesterday.
You know what? I'm not really a gift guy. I'm more of a presents guy. Not presents that I get with you. So I'm just glad you're here. Did you feel the energy?
Yeah.
Skyrocketed.
Hey. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Hey, Justin, you know your dog Sparky?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I forgot I'm not supposed to give him a bunch of chocolate. And so I just gave him a whole bunch of chocolate. And I know that makes him have a lot of gas. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what? It also causes heart attacks. But I'm not really concerned about it because he's had a pretty great life. honestly. He's brought a lot to the family.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to miss him if he dies. I am.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hold either of those. I'm just going to love him tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You just changed the game on that. See, I thought, okay, so here's the deal.
Well, I also think gratitude might have, there's a thing we do called API, assume positive intent.
Okay.
I think there's a little bit of that too.
Okay, API me.
Right? I always have to assume positive intent.
On the person you're interacting with.
Anytime I get all huffy puffy and a little tood, I think gratitude's easier when I assume positive intent.
So we're going to change the tude to gratitude.
I love it.
I love that.
I love it.
With a little PTI.
Yeah. No, API. Assume positive intent.
Oh,
Keep going. Keep going.
I like that though.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week, maybe you skip the first one, okay? But here's what I want us to understand. The energy that we would be producing by starting every interaction with positivity. You know someone like that, be someone like that, and it will impact. And it's not toxic positivity. It's just intentional positioning of perspective to say, hey, I'm going to choose to live in today as a gift, this relationship, this conversation as a gift. I think it'll benefit those around you. So Riff Raff, thanks for surviving another episode with us. And man, we're just thrilled if this actually recorded.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, but if not, that's all right.
Yeah,
we'll be excited. Third time's a charm, right?
It's going to be awesome.
So,
yeah, it's a pleasure to do this.
I'm going to go home, look at the weather report, and hope that we're coming back at you with a lot less sweat next time. Have a great week, Riff Raff, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Riff. We'll have a brand new episode every week, wherever you find podcasts.